Hi, my magical creatures, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is gonna be what HRT has done to me. More like I'm probably gonna title it how HRT affected me. So this video is gonna be all about like hormone replacement therapy, like what is it, why you should take it, stuff like that. Yeah, but before we begin, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, like, and subscribe. It's a free way to help your girl out. And it's Christmas, so Merry Christmas to everybody out there. I hope everyone's having a really good Christmas. Um, but yeah, so, so let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna start like why, okay, so like what is HRT? So I have my notes too, because I wrote down a lot of stuff. So, like, what is HRT? So, HRT, like, what it stands for is called hormone replacement therapy. What HRT is basically if your body isn't producing any hormones, like whether it be testosterone or estrogen, cis people, some cis people actually take HRT, believe it or not. There was a man, he had I think something was going on with one of his testicles, and he had to get one of them removed. So now to make up for the hormone intake to keep his hormones regulating and going, he takes testosterone shots. And so I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, so if they tend to get a testicle removed due to whatever, have it be like cancer or something, happen to it, whatever, they take testosterone shots. And female to males, they take testosterone shots if they choose to continue their transition. Um, Women too, cis women too take estrogen shots. Some of them do, depending on to help with their menopause. Um, Also too, I'm not entirely sure, so don't quote me on it, but I think too, like when they get their cervix removed too, their ovaries. I gotta do research on that because I don't know, and I don't want to tell you guys the wrong thing. But cis women too, they take estrogen shots. That's why some of them tend to kind of like grow like mustaches or hair, because I think it's like a hormonal imbalance. I'm not entirely sure on that. So, but the men thing, I kind of know what I'm talking about on that. Um, but yeah, so cis people do take HRT, and then trans people too. If you want to continue your transition, they take HRT as well. Like myself, I take estrogen. So what was I gonna say? So also too, like why you should start taking estrogen is that or I'm sorry, why you should start taking HRT if you are transgender and you want to continue your transition, and you really want to you have gender dysphoria, like you just don't like the way you look, and you feel that deep down inside this is going to make you happy, changing your physical features, changing your gender physically, then you should start HRT. So I'm only speaking for the women, male to females, because that's what I know. I don't really know a whole lot about the female to male. I just know that they only take one hormone, I believe, and it's testosterone. And yeah, and so that, they just turn into a male. They look like a male. So for us, male to females, we take two hormones. So one is spironolactone, and then the other one is estrogen. What spironolactone is basically a testosterone blocker. So when you're so what it does is secrete, yeah, it's a testosterone blocker. So it just stops your, so if you have a penis, male genitalia with testicles, and the testicles produce testosterone, and that's what makes you get the physical male features. Okay. So the spironolactone, what that does, it blocks that off. Okay. And then the estrogen, that's the female hormone, and then that's what comes into play, and that's what makes us grow our boobs, our hips, soft skin, stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm gonna say like kind of like what happened to me, like what, because it took months. So this stuff doesn't happen overnight. It takes months. So I'm gonna be explaining how HRT affected me and kind of like what I remember, stuff like that. Um, so my first month taking HRT, spironolactone and estrogen, I ended up developing soft skin. I noticed because men tend to have rough skin, tight skin, stuff like that. My skin ended up softening up, and it was just really soft and squishy and stuff. And a lot of men would tell me I had soft skin to this day. So also too, my boobs started to grow. So like I had like little buds behind the nipple, the areola area, and it's like a piece of fat and it like rounds it out, and that's kind of what makes your boobs develop, like the fat being built up. Um and they hurt really bad too. Like my boobs were really sore and stuff. So like I remember people were trying to hug me and stuff like that, and I immediately would just be like side hug or whatever, because just a hug just hurt. They felt like too, they chafed a lot. Like it felt like my shirt. They were so hypersensitive to the point where like if my shirt rubbed against it, it felt like it was chafing against the shirt, and it just was really uncomfortable. It was just hurt. Also too, the first month, I noticed my emotions changing. I remember I would just cry randomly, super random. I remember driving to Ratchet University, and I was listening to a song on the radio, and it wasn't even like an emotional song or anything, and I just started crying. Um, yeah, so that will happen. Also too, I think within like 2 weeks, a month, for me, you know how when guys wake up in the morning, they have like that morning wood or whatever, that will be no more. So, yeah, so you won't get any more, it'll be hard to get an erection. There we go. Um, Also too, my sex drive went all the way down. I wasn't, like, I didn't want to be sexual with men and stuff like that. I was just kind of like, I just was more emotional about things. Like I remember just looking at a guy and I'm like, oh my god, he's so cute. Like I want to get to know him. I want to talk to him. I just want to hug him. Stuff like that. And I'll be planning like a relationship. Like be like, oh my god, like he talked to me. Like oh my god, like he's gonna be my husband. Watch, stuff like that. Um, and before it's raining, so I hope in the video, like I don't know, I hope like you guys can still hear me and stuff. But yeah, so that's kind of like the first month that I experienced on here. I was very emotional. Oh yeah, and your moods too are gonna go up and down. I mean, literally, like you're just gonna be times where you just get like angry and you get moody, and yeah, like that. You know how guys would be like, "Oh, are you on your period?" Like literally, you're gonna be like on your period. Oh yeah. So another thing too, that trans women don't get periods. I did watch this one video of someone claiming that they had their it was a male to female saying that a little blood did come out. I don't know what's going on down there with that, but I've never experienced that. And I was told by my doctor that you shouldn't be bleeding down there. So yeah, us trans women don't get periods. Um yeah. So, what else? So I think that's like everything that happened to me the first month. So let's go into like the third month. So the second month was kind of like the same thing. So the third month, I've noticed the fat distribution in my face. So men tend to have more of like a square, chiseled, look to their face. Everything is more square, and women are more round. Um, so I noticed the fat distribution in my face started developing. Like my cheeks started to get more fat, and and my face started to round out. um yeah. Also too, my boobs started developing even more, so I had like a little droop to my boobs, so I was like, okay. um a lot of trans women, sorry, excuse me, a lot of trans women, a lot, their boobs don't really grow that big. There's some that do grow really big, but there's some, most trans women, their boobs don't develop that big, and that's why a lot of them end up getting a boob job. Um yeah, so I just wanted to put that out there. So if your boobs feel like they're like small, don't worry. Like is yeah, don't worry. Um because my boobs were like really small. Like I think I was like, what was that? I think it was like an A cup. And then like once um my boobs started developing, I think after like a year and a half, like I just, then that's when like one of my boob, oh yeah, one boob was bigger than the other. So I was just like, oh my God. So and then I bumped up to like a small B. So yeah. Um okay, so then the 6 month mark, we're gonna do the 6 month mark. I noticed like my hips got wider. Also too, that's when I started dressing up full time as a woman, because I've noticed, I feel like at the 6 month mark, you can notice a lot of change if you're consistent with taking your hormones and everything like that. For me, I just knew 6 months that was gonna be my goal, and yeah, I did that, and then I got a weave and everything like that, and then that's when I started passing. Um, yeah, but I was still very insecure. Oh yeah, and one thing about HRT, you guys, um, depending on how late you transition, you know, due to, let's say like if you're a male to female, like let's say like the testosterone already developed, you know what I'm saying, and you waited kind of late in life to transition, the HRT isn't gonna change the bone structure in your face. It's just gonna change the fat distribution. Okay. Also to the bone structure, that's why like I got FFS, facial feminization surgery, to saw down the bone to make it look more feminine. For me, that's what I did for me. Not all girls get that. Not all girls even need FFS. So, but for me, I just did it because I just wanted to go that extra mile and just know that, okay, it can't be my face because I had work done there, you know? Um, Also to what else? Also to your voice too. I feel like hormones, this is what the doctor said, but for me, I feel like taking hormones, it helped just a tiny bit in my voice, like a little bit in my voice, and not dramatically changed it. But when I first started taking hormones, I had a deep, really deep voice. I mean, really manly, like people knew was a man on the phone, you know. Hormones, I don't think, it doesn't change your voice. So for me, I feel like it helped me a little bit, but it wasn't dramatically. Like I had to really practice my voice and stuff like that. And I'll do a video on how I did that. Um, 1 year. Okay, so yeah, and then also too, I feel like around the 6 months too, I've noticed like my shoulders too, they were just more rounded out, you know, because before I was a man, like they were like down, and then I don't know, now they're kind of just more like neat, like feminine, you know, stuff like that. Um, yeah, and then also too, like my hips too, I've noticed my hips more, before they were just kind of like deep, and then now it's like more like rounded. Also too, my booty, I feel like it's a little bit bigger. Stuff like that. Um, and then now that we get to the 1 year mark, um, yeah, after 1 year on hormones, then that's when, if you want to get surgery through your medical insurance, you can, the first surgery that I got after a year on hormones was getting my boobs done. So, and I got that through my medical insurance carrier. And believe it or not, cis women too can get their boobs done. Like if you have cancer, I've seen Kaiser. There was a lady that I worked with. She, you know, unfortunately she had cancer, but I don't think she has it anymore. But yeah, they removed her breast, and then they ended up, you know, putting an implant in there. So they do that. One girl that I work with too, I thought she was trans, but she told me she wasn't. But she got her boobs done through Kaiser as well. Or was it Kaiser? I don't even remember. But I think it was either Kaiser or another place. She got her boobs done too. Because mentally, because she was a big girl, but her boobs were so small. And so she went to the doctor. She, you know, she said mentally it messes with me and everything like that. So the doctors ended up they did a boob job for her, and I can't believe that. So I just thought they only did it for trans people, but they do it for cis people too, cis women. Um, yeah. Um, so yeah, and then but overall, this kind of like sums up the video. So this is kind of like what happened for me, you know. Now it's like, I don't know, now the difference is it's easier for me to cry. Like I can just think of something sad and then immediately a tear comes down. Or when I give myself my estrogen shot, because I do self injections, within, it's always on the third day. That's when I get really emotional, and like that's when I like have to cry and let it out. But that's just for me. It may not be for you, but also too, sex drive all the way down. Yeah, so that's pretty much everything on my notes. But if you guys have any questions about HRT or want to know more, definitely leave comments down below. I'm pretty good at replying back. Also too, you know, I hope you guys have a really good Christmas, and don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay magical.